Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Warriors get good news on Jonathan Kuminga return date. Golden State Warriors rising star Jonathan Kuminga could return as early as Thursday, March 13th against the Sacramento Kings. Anthony Slater of The Athletic reported on Tuesday, March 11th, "I could see him coming back Thursday night. He's had a couple good scrimmages this last week," Slater said on Run It Back on FanDuel TV. "You're going to see him very soon, like I said, maybe as early as Thursday." The Warriors were initially targeting their March 8th home win over the Detroit Pistons as Kuminga's return date, but scaled it back. According to Slater, Kuminga had some residual swelling which took his recovery longer than what the Warriors expected. "He had a 3-on-0 workout in Philadelphia and I was in the gym afterwards and you could tell the ankle was still bothering him." Slater recalled he was grabbing at it, talking to the trainers. "I saw him that night after the game in Philly, which he didn't play in obviously, but he was still icing his ankle post-game. There's just been some residual swelling, so this last stage of rehab has just taken longer than they thought. They kind of projected he might be back around last week." Kuminga has already missed 32 games since sustaining the significant ankle injury on January 4th against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Warriors have survived Kuminga's long absence thanks to their mid-season trade for Jimmy Butler. They are now 19-2 since Kuminga's injury and 12-2 over their last 14 games since the blockbuster Butler trade. They have only lost one when Butler is in the lineup. Kuminga's highly anticipated return is pivotal for the Warriors, who have climbed from 11th to 6th in the Western Conference with only 17 games left before the postseason. That's the most complicated question still kind of remaining for them. Slater said it's tough sometimes to be dropped into a rotation that's winning and successful and everybody's getting credit. Slater sees gating up into Guy Santos and Moses Moody's minutes when he returns. "You've got to take minutes away from guys right now who have been successful," Slater continued. Guy Santos was one of the stars in the Pistons game, Moses Moody having the most consistent stretch of his career. Santos averaged 16.7 minutes during Kuminga's absence, putting up 5.5 points, 3.8 rebounds and 1.6 assists. Golden State coach Steve Kerr praised Santos for his hustle and being a connector after his 15.6 rebound effort against the Pistons. "He just knows how to play and the game really flows when he's out there." Sit of Santos. The Warriors are now 16-1 when Moody starts. Since Kuminga was out, Moody is averaging 11.4 points, 3.1 rebounds and 1.5 assists while shooting 37.3% from the three-point line. "It's a really difficult thing when you are playing really well and then you have a key guy coming back," Kerr told reporters after beating the Pistons. "It's always tough, so I think the idea is just bring him along. Slowly play him in short bursts. Help him get his rhythm back, but we've got to keep playing Guy Santos. We've got to keep playing the guys who are helping us win right now, and so usually this stuff has to kind of play out, and so we'll hope that it plays out." Warriors have another Buddy Hield problem that proves he can't be trusted. Buddy Hield was a key contributor for the Golden State Warriors at Chase Center on Monday, bouncing back to some form and finding his shooting stroke during a 130-120 victory over the Portland Trail Blazers. The veteran sharpshooter combined with Gary Payton II to deliver 46 points off the Warrior bench, with Hield going for 20 points on an efficient 7 of 10 shooting from the floor and 6 of 9 from three-point range. The 32-year-old entered on the back of two poor games against the Brooklyn Nets and Detroit Pistons, having scored just 8 combined points on 3 of 15 shooting from the floor and 1 of 10 from beyond the arc. Hield's 23 minutes against the Nets were particularly poor. He missed all 8 of his shots, including all 5 of his threes, finishing as a -11 as the Warriors overcame that individually poor performance to record a 2-point win. It was good to see Hield bounce back and find some rhythm against the Trailblazers. Golden State certainly needed his scoring output, having given up 43 points in the third quarter as 66 combined from Denny Addy at 34 and Anthony Simons' 32 threat a Portland comeback victory. At the same time, it's another example of Hield taking advantage advantage against lesser opposition. Monday's outing was the 10th time he's reached 20 points this season, with 8 of those now coming against teams who would not be making the playoffs if they started today. Furthermore, 7 of Hield's 20-point games have come against opponents that are currently bottom 4 in their respective conference. While it's not necessarily surprising for role players to perform better against lesser opposition, Hield's numbers are probably a little too skewed and represent a problem for the Warriors as they push towards their playoffs, given his inability to provide big scoring outbursts against the better teams. What kind of trust can St. Steve Kerr have Hield once the playoffs roll around? There's little doubt Warrior fans will be nervous assuming they do reach the postseason. Added a 12-2 surge over the past 14 games, Hield has averaged 23.3 minutes per game so far this season. It's difficult to see him getting anywhere near that playing time during the playoffs, particularly as Golden State prepare to welcome back Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podmski, which will give them up to 11 players who warrant minutes in the rotation. At the same time, no one outside Stephen Curry possesses the shooting threat that Hield does. The Warriors will desperately need that at certain points, and it will therefore be interesting to see how his minutes fluctuate over the remainder of the season. Warriors monitor LeBron James, Kevin Durant and other all-stars. The Golden State Warriors have stepped up their search for a second star for their roster on the eve of the NBA trade deadline, according to information reported by Shams Charania from ESPN in the United States. During his appearance on the program The Pat McAfee Show this Monday, the franchise has monitored the situations of stars such as LeBron James, Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler. The San Francisco franchise understands that its window for titles is closing with the aging of Stephen Curry. The star is 36 years old. The acquisition of another player to take on a leading role in the roster is an effort by the franchise to try to take advantage of the last seasons of the legendary number 30. However, finding a second star available for trade has proven to be a difficult task. Of the names mentioned by Chirania, Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat was the one most linked to the Californian franchise, and rumors in the North American press the player is suspended for an indefinite period and has already formalized a request to be traded, but Golden State backed off in the talks after the forward, who only has 1 year left on his contract, assured that he would not sign an extension after being acquired. Kevin Durant has already played for the Warriors and was a champion alongside Curry in 2017 and 2018, but the Phoenix Suns do not intend to trade the player. Likewise, LeBron James is another name that does not intend to leave his team and has already assured that he intends to remain with the Los Angeles Lakers after the arrival of Luka Doncic. Despite being unsuccessful in acquiring a star, the Warriors have only managed to reinforce once in recent months. The team acquired point guard Dennis Schroeder in a deal that gave to Anthony Melton and 3 second-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets. Even with the reinforcement of Schroeder, the team is coming off an unstable season. After a 12-3 start, Golden State has gone on a bad run and dropped to a 25-24 record, now occupying 11th place in the West. The NBA transfer window will come to an end this Thursday, 6 and you fan, what do you think about LeBron James' situation? Write to us in the comments.